Hey everyone, Blugoblin here. Thank you for joining me for my comic book review for the week of August 10th, 2016. I know this is way late. I just gotta find the time to do this stuff. I'm gonna start with DC, go through the indies, and then end with Marvel. I'm gonna start DC off with Action Comics number 961. Dan Jurgens still doing a good job with the writing, and Segovia with the artwork. I apologize if I butchered the name, but first of all, I apologize in advance if I sound a little low. I'm just really tired, but I wanted to get this done. I wanted to do this review while I had a chance to do it. But Segovia, the artwork is fantastic as well. But in here we see more tangling around with Doomsday. It's more of the same stuff that we've been getting throughout these few issues of Action Comics. Nothing's really truly changed in terms of high significance until we get to the end of the book. The end of the book is where we're finally going somewhere interesting. You know, because all throughout the issue, Clark is wondering if history is going to repeat itself when it comes to a fight like this, and he actually gets worried for a bit. Then something happens at the end. I'm not going to ruin it though. Good issue, pretty strong. Still, Dan Jurgens knows what he does with these characters. A good issue nonetheless. I'll give it a 4. Moving on to All-Star Batman number 1. I had a choice for variant covers, and I couldn't go wrong with Batman holding a chainsaw. Scott Snyder and John Romita Jr. Just awesome storytelling. Great artwork to help sell it. In here, Batman's got a hit on him. And who put the hit on him? None other than the guy he's trying to help in here, Harvey Two-Face Dent. And the bounty that's on Batman's head is astronomically huge. It's to the point where we get a very, very shocking reveal as to actually who had their turn at trying for the bounty. Very humongous shocker in here, but I dare not ruin it. Great storytelling, good artwork. I mean, was it perfect? No, but still just stellar work from both men. An awesome job, an easy 4. Let's keep rolling with Detective Comics number 938. This felt more like an issue of Batwoman, done the right way. James Tynion IV and Martinez. I mean, yeah, you got Batman and the rest of his, Batmen, whatever you want to call them. That's a lousy name, though. Here come the Batmen. Even though it's Red Robin, Oracle, not Oracle, but Orphan, Spoiler, Batwoman, and Clayface. Yeah, this felt more like an issue of Batwoman, because Batwoman was the star of this issue, and this was Batwoman's storytelling done the right way, and Draco. Yeah, just really good stuff, and unfortunately her dad is falling into that category that's, it's a little cliche, to hold the whole soldier putting his country first bullshit that I've seen so many times in so many different stories. It's not completely working for me here, but nonetheless still a pretty strong issue, despite the flaws it has, but nicely done. No, I'll give it a 3.5. Earth 2 Society number 15, at the mercy of the Ultra-Human. I don't fucking care. Dan Abnett, you're a great writer, but My God, this series is still on a nosedive into who gives a fuck land. I'm only continuing this just because out of sheer morbid curiosity and the fact that I want to might as well go ahead and complete the series since it's probably going to end soon or it's going to carry on through to Rebirth. It's just we're in the middle of a storyline right now involving, you know, heroes debating amongst each other about how they want to reshape the Earth or if they even want to do it at all, and I'm like, I just don't feel anything in here. You know, my Earth 2 counterpart don't give a fuck anymore. That's why he's not around anymore, and it's just like, wow. It really says a lot about DC and their staff and everything like that when this was once, Earth 2 was once one of the hottest titles they had, and now it's at the point where I could care less what they're doing right now. And I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. Alan Scott gets his ring back. He's the Green Lantern again, except he's gone psycho. Whoop-de-fucking-do, I don't care. Average read at best, 2.5. The Flash, number 4. Williamson and Googe. Sorry if I butchered that name. This was actually pretty good too. You know, you got the Flash being a mentor as well as a hero and a policeman and everything. And he said it feels good. It feels good to feel like a mentor again. You know, since his days, now that he's remembered his days with Wally, the original Wally, not the new Wally, but the original Wally. And you know, he's giving all these new speedsters, you know, tips and tricks on how to use their speed to their advantage. And something is found out about the Speed Force when two or more speedsters are working together so closely. One of them is actually capable of absorbing the Speed Force amongst them and making themselves faster, and that's part of the it's part of the description for how Godspeed will end up being worked when, you know, he starts causing more chaos and everything. But they find out that somebody's trying to weaponize the Speed Force, and all is well and good. And then that last page, I didn't know what to think about that last page when I first saw it. I know they were trying to go for a jaw-dropping cliffhanger, but it just didn't drop my jaw. It just made me scratch my head. I'm like, Barry, what the fuck are you doing? A good issue, though. It had its ups and downs. I'll be nice to them and give it a 3.5. Excuse me. Let's keep rolling. Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, number 2. Venditti and Sandoval and everybody who worked on this, you did a good job. This was fine. The best, I was enjoying myself the most when we were looking at what's going on with the Sinestro Corps and what was going on with Hal. The stuff with the re-emerged Green Lantern Corps with John, Kilowog, and Guy, it just didn't grab me the way the rest of the storytelling did. But it looks like they're just going back to the safe route with this, reigniting the rivalry between Hal Jordan and Sinestro, which is fine if you want to go that route, but let's just see where they go with this. Decent issue, pretty damn nice cliffhanger there. I'll give it that. Good stuff. I liked it. It gets a 3.5. On to a title that I actually forgot that I ordered, but now that I've read it, I'm kind of glad I did. Superwoman, number 1. Good cover there by Terry Dodson. Jimenez and Santarelli, the creative team, the main creative team for this. But this was good. This was really good. I was completely wrong about this new Superwoman. You know, I knew it was Lois, but I was wrong on which Lois it was. I was thinking it was going to be, you know, I was thinking that this was going to be Lois with Clark's powers after something went wrong with the Eradicator over in the Superman title. That's where I thought they were going at first. And it's like, okay, no, this is the new 52 Lois Lane with Superman's powers. Apparently, during the Final Days of Superman storyline, which I did not read, but luckily there's enough exposition in here so I understand what they were talking about. Turns out when Superman went Nova, minor spoilers here for those of you who don't know how Lois got the powers. When Superman went Nova right before he died, Lois and Lana got blasted with some energy, and now Lois has Clark's powers. But she's not the only Superwoman in this title. Lana is also a Superwoman, but in a very different way, and I'm not going to spoil that because I actually thought that was damn interesting and a nice little callback to a certain period in time that I know a good friend of mine, Chris, TheMtVernonKid, I'm pretty sure he probably got a kick out of that. But really good. Nice storytelling. I dug this. The stuff with Lex Luthor was good, but that ending, it just, I was not digging the ending. I really wasn't. I've got to be honest. It's like, wow, you're really, minor spoiler, you're really teasing the possibility of killing Lois off in the very first issue. That's bold, yet very dumb. If you were going to go there, fine, but you did it in the very first issue. That is way too soon to be jumping onto a cliffhanger like that. Way too soon. It really hurts the book for me, because I don't buy that they're actually going to kill off the title character in the first goddamn issue. But still, the rest of the book was good. But that ending just hurts it for me, and I'd give it a 3.5. Would have been a 4 if they'd have done the ending differently. We're ending DC off with Wonder Woman number 4. Greg Rucka and Nicola Scott. This was fantastic. Greg Rucka, man, this guy knows his shit when it comes to Wonder Woman. And Nicola Scott's artwork is just fantastic. This is the next part of the Year One storyline, recalling the events that led to Diana becoming Wonder Woman. Yeah, we're telling this story again. That's the only problem I'm having right now with the Year One storyline is, how many fucking times do we gotta tell a Wonder Woman origin story? How many times do we gotta fucking change things? How many times do we have to tell this? I think this is like the 4th or 5th time I have read an origin story of Diana's in less than 2 fucking years span. Good grief. Next, try something after this Year One storyline is over with and we're going on to another storyline to share with the Lies storyline. Why don't we try something a little more current? But despite all of that nitpicking I just did, this was still really good in terms of story and an art that helps tell the story. Yeah, it's like they're actually trying to heal the men that crashed on the Themyscira. So of course, Steve Trevor is, of course, the only one that survived the crash. And Diana's tending to him while the Amazons are learning about their weaponry, their garb, their technology, their plane, and everything like that. And the Amazons' introduction to guns was both interesting and a little bit comedic. You know, to see that they've never seen guns before, but yet instantly they know how to use them. They know how to load them, lock them, cock them, and shoot them. Wow! Now, talk about fast learning. It's like the first time they use it, they blow the crap out of an ancient vase, and then they use them in the games to help determine the champion of Themyscira. It's just, wow, that's actually kind of funny when I think about it. But the issue culminates with the inevitable, what we already know: Diana becomes the champion, becomes Wonder Woman. I know, shocking, right? Next thing you'll tell me Peter Parker's Spider-Man. But still, despite the constant need to step backward with this character, this was still very nicely done. I'll be extra nice because the storytelling was so well done and the artwork was so good that helps progress the story and helps keep the focus on the plot. I'll give it a 4. Going on to Dynamite with the Lone Ranger Green Hornet number 2. Not too much happens in this. It's just more recollections from the Lone Ranger's past and the Lone Ranger trying to convince Britt Reed to become the new Lone Ranger while Britt don't want anything to do with it. He doesn't want to be a hero that existed before his days. He wants to be his own hero. He wants to be his own character. Thus, in here, we see the creation of the Green Hornet. You know, and he's like, why would I want to be another Lone Ranger when I can be my own Green Hornet? And that's where we see it. The creation of the Green Hornet. We're seeing, yeah, but it's, despite the fact that he doesn't want to be the Lone Ranger, his creation of the Green Hornet and everything associated with the Green Hornet has a little tie of tribute to the Lone Ranger. He doesn't want to be the Lone Ranger, but he still wants to respect the legacy of the Lone Ranger at the same time. That is really good. That is really good storytelling. Nicely done. A solid issue. Really dug it. It's not the best stuff in the world. I still think Mark Waid's Green Hornet was stellar stuff. But this was still really good. I think any Green Hornet fan or Lone Ranger fan would really appreciate this. Lots and lots of respect to both characters, in my opinion. Gets a 3.5, maybe even a 4. I'm torn between on that one. Alright, moving on to IDW with Ghostbusters International number 7. Going to Ireland. And Ray, Winston, and Pete are called to Ireland by Walter Peck himself. And this is a personal emergency in Ireland for Peck. And it concerns a family friend of his. And in this book, I'm going to spoil one thing. I saw something in this book that I never ever thought I would ever see. Walter Peck not only working with the Ghostbusters, but Walter Peck using a proton pack. Oh my God. If you saw the original 1984 Ghostbusters movie and you saw the character of Walter Peck, you would never believe in a million years he would ever strap on the proton pack and help the Ghostbusters catch a ghost. You would never believe that, but it happens in here. Wow, and so there's something that Venkman does in here, and I know, hell, Winston said it himself, it's going to come back and bite them in the ass. This was good stuff. Meanwhile, what the fuck is going on with Egon? Where are you going with that? Good stuff. This was an amazing issue. Gets a 4. Let's move on to Marvel. All New, All Different Avengers number 13. This is a tie-in to Civil War II with Mark Waid and Adam Kubert. I'm just going to sum this issue up in one question to Mr. Mark Waid. What the hell are you doing with the Vision? I feel like that's all I need to say. He gets a 4. God damn. Let's keep it rolling with them. All New, All Different Avengers Annual number 1. My God, this sucked. Granted, it's not a horrible book, but my God, this was lame. Fan fictions written by Marvel's authors, it just didn't work for me. This is far from good. This was not worth the $5 I spent for it. The only good thing about this book was the damn cover. And the stuff with Ms. Marvel at the very beginning before we start telling the fan fictions. But man, this just felt lame. And I think they were going for comedic storytelling. It just fell flat. For me, it did. If anybody watching this, if you loved this issue, then that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But me personally, this was boring. It really was. And I never thought I would say that about a book that Mark Waid had a hand in. Muhammad Asrar, G. Willow Wilson, Zach Gorman, everybody that worked on this. It's like so much collaborations, and I was honestly bored. 2.5, maybe even as low as a 2. That really disappointed me. All New X-Men number 12, Hopeless and Bagley still doing a good job. This actually felt more like an issue of All New Wolverine. I mean, it really did, because the issue focuses solely on, Wolverine, and long story short, it's a reconciliation issue with her and Angel, and that's pretty much it. It was fine. Bagley's artwork is stellar, but the storytelling was just meh. It's like, okay, they're back together. I mean, I kind of saw it coming anyway, so I'm like, I give it a 3. The Amazing Spider-Man number 734, or number 16. Yeah, it's like, hate me all you want for trying to stick with traditional numbering with old Webhead. But for me, this is Amazing Spider-Man 734, and oh my god. Dan Slott and Giuseppe Camuncoli. Camuncoli's artwork is great. There's no denying that, but Slott's writing, it is seriously testing my patience. Oh my god. This hurts, folks. I mean, this really, really does hurt. My favorite character of all time right now has such a weak-ass title on the shelves. And it's supposed to be not just the flagship title for Spider-Man, but one of the flagship titles of Marvel Comics in general. And man, this shit is just killing me. You're going back to the clone shit. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I don't know what Marvel's obsession with the Jackal and the fucking clone stuff is. I honestly don't understand. We're going back to the Jackal. We're going back to the stupid fucking clone shit. It didn't work in the 90s. It didn't work in the mid-2000s. It's not gonna fucking work now. Oh, they gave Jackal a new look. He's now got a black mask. Who fucking cares? And we all know all these people popping up from the dead. We all know they're fucking clones. We all know it's gonna happen. The big shocking reveal that Marvel's gonna do in a couple of issues down the road. Oh, big surprise! They're all clones. No fucking shit. I just. Oh my god. You know, it's funny. A while back, I saw some solicitations promising the return of Dr. Octopus. Some way, somehow, Doc Ock's coming back. And at the time, I was like, nope, 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 you don't need to bring him back. No, 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 no. But this is where Marvel's also very smart. You have taken an idea, you have taken a plot that I did not want to have, that I did not want to see, and because of what you're doing now with this fucking clone stuff, you now make me want to see Doc Ock return. You make me want something that I didn't want. Because hell, I'll settle for Doc Ock coming back as opposed to this fucking tired-ass clone shit that nearly helped bankrupt Marvel in the fucking 90s with the goddamn Clone Saga. Why do you want to go back and use plot lines and ideas that nearly bankrupted your company so many years ago? It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. And this issue sucks as a result of it. The artwork saves it. It's a fucking 2 out of 5. Black Panther number 5. Good stuff, man. It's just really good stuff. You know, T'Challa, he's continuing to try and win back the trust of Wakanda because all kinds of crazy shit's going on. We're in the middle of a revolution now in Wakanda to where the people are like wanting their own independence and all that stuff, and you know, they've been hitting T'Challa where it hurts. They've been really hitting him where it hurts by, you know, attacking him personally and attacking his family. It's like he's just, wow, just constant test after test, constant push after push after push. And it's like there's a scene in here where he's in the middle of a fight and he's like, he takes his mask off, he's like, come on, hit me, and a couple people get a couple of slugs in on, and he's like, yeah, come on, hit me, pow, yeah. And then he puts his mask on and he whoops some more ass. It's like T'Challa, the way I'm reading this storytelling, the way I'm reading it, what I'm feeling is that he's about to snap. And when that happens, all shit's gonna get fucking nuts. But still, this is really good storytelling. I'm really digging this. It gets a 4. But the ending, Jesus. Let's keep moving. Daredevil number 10. This is the beginning of the Dark Art storyline. It's basically, you know, it's like most of this issue is like Matt and Blind Spot, you know, trying to, you know, stay tight, stay cool, you know, and Matt's got his hands full with his job and everything, and, you know, Blind Spot, he's still, he's fully recuperated, he's ready to get back into action after the whole ordeal with Elektra and stuff. But then Matt gets called in. And, well, Blind Spot calls Daredevil. So Daredevil goes to Blind Spot. Yeah, Blind Spot, he calls Daredevil. Yeah, okay, yeah, I think that's what I said. But Blind Spot, he calls for Daredevil, and Daredevil shows up. And in here, how do I put this? In here, I see probably, arguably, one of the most beautifully gruesome things I've ever seen in a Daredevil comic book. You know, they say artwork tells a story. Holy shit. What kind of story are we told at the end of this issue? 4 out of 5. Let's keep it rolling. Darth Vader 24. Despite how much I love this character, I love this cover, 000 is not in this issue, unfortunately, but that's okay because this issue kicked a lot of ass. This picks up right where the last issue ended off, with Silo deactivating Vader's mechanical parts to his body. So Darth Vader is just basically just a dead shell, because it's always been said he is more machine than man at this point. And with the use of a special button, the machine is turned off, and Vader is stiff as a board. Can't move, can't function. He's done. But we get to see inside the mind of what little of the man is left in there. We see in this issue that there is just a smidge left of Anakin Skywalker still in there. And we get to see into Vader's mind. And the shit that happens in here, we get to see the battle, the Star Wars fight that was never thought possible. We get it. And as I'm reading this, as I'm reading it and looking at the storytelling, looking at the art, I am trying to visualize this actually happening in a Star Wars flick. We get Anakin Skywalker versus Darth Vader. A fight that can never possibly happen, but we get it in this issue. Good stuff. And it leads up to how Vader's able to overthrow that technology and reestablish himself, and it's just so good. This was such a great issue. So many swerves, so many twists, so many what if it went this way scenarios, or what if it went that way scenarios. It's just really good stuff. And unfortunately, this is the penultimate issue, which means 25 is the last one. No more Darth Vader. But a stellar title nonetheless. Awesome. This gets a 4.5. Spider-Man 2099, number 13. Peter David, Dan Sliney. This is a tie-in to Civil War II. Turns out Ulysses, for reasons, let's just say that, for reasons, he has a vision about Miguel and 2099's Captain America concerning the Time Gate. And he sends a sketch, Ulysses sends a sketch drawing to Peter Parker at Parker Industries. And it stirs up some questions, and it stirs up some worries, especially for Miguel. So it urges Miguel to go back to the year 2099 to sort some things out. And 2099 has once again changed. And what's Peter David best known for? Solid cliffhangers. And he gives us another one. This was good. Very solid stuff. It's not some of Peter David's best work, but it's still really solid nonetheless. I'd give it a 3.5. Spider-Man Deadpool, number 8. What this basically was Pete and Wade making up. It's kind of like, a bromance on the rocks. It's time to shake hands. Time to nut up and shut up. Go reestablish the bromance. It's not really a bromance, folks. Peter can barely tolerate Deadpool. But in Deadpool's mind, that's what it is. But in here, Pete dons a new costume, and you know what? It looks fucking awesome. His costume, it makes him look a little evil, and I like it. I really like it. It's a twist on it's a little modern twist on an old classic, and I really liked it. But nonetheless, solid stuff. I mean, Joe Kelly just nails it with these two characters. I mean, it's not just Deadpool. I mean, Spider-Man as well. I mean, Joe Kelly just nails it. I have nothing else to say. It's a solid 4. Spidey, number 9. Thompson, Stockman, and Campbell. This was good as well. I still say this still feels like good old-fashioned amazing Spider-Man comic books. We got the reemergence of Kraven the Hunter. Yeah, he's gotten better, he's gotten stronger, he's gotten faster, but Pete still is able to take him out. It's just all kinds of goodness. I mean, this feels like classic, good, Amazing Spider-Man stuff. This feels more like Amazing Spider-Man than Amazing Spider-Man does right now, and that's kind of sad, considering this is probably, some people call it a novelty title, or you know, just a side title for more Spider-Man collectors, which it possibly is that, but it's still good nonetheless, and it ends on a very aw kind of moment, and it was good. 3.5. And unfortunately, we're ending this on a sour note. Uncanny X-Men number 611, Cullen Bunn and the Tracer. It's like Earth 2 and the all-new, all-different Avengers annual. It just didn't do anything for me, and Monet's trying to gain the trust of the other X-Men while she's secretly having her brother possess her body. So what are they going to do? They're going to infiltrate the Hellfire Club. Yay! When am I supposed to care? It's the flagship title for the X-Men, and I just... meh. 2.5. Well, that's it for this review, everybody. Please subscribe to this. Don't forget Blugoblin X. I am almost done with the Archie Comics stash that my bro Chris sent me. And as soon as I'm done with that, I will be reviewing that for my Blugoblin X channel. Follow me here on YouTube or on Facebook, Twitter. As of right now, I still have my Tumblr account up, but I'm barely on that anymore. I'm sick of the fucking porn blog following shit. And I'm still on Pinterest. Check out Arkham Asylum Studio. We have did a couple more videos for that, and one of them's a toy video, and one of them is a food-related video. I think you'll like them both. But go check them out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Y'all know about the shout-outs. TheMtVernonKid, Deadpoolzilla, and Brandon Hex, as always. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hail Hydra. See y'all later.